Hello everyone. So I'm here today with Hadley, my what is it? Fairyland elf Sunni head on their mowing line body. And I don't know, I was feeling some sort of way today, so I decided to make a video. And I guess it's kind of like almost like a year in review sort of video, because I was just thinking today as I'm actually trying to get my dolls in order by storyline on my shelves. So yesterday I took down like a list of all of them, and I'm going to like try and like group them and then group them on the shelves in a way that makes sense to me instead of how they are now, because they're kind of jumbled and I don't like it. That being said, I did that, and today I was working on the secondary part of grouping them all together, and I just realized something about this year and how I want to do things differently next year, because I don't know, I'm not happy with this year and how my collecting and selling and all that went. I guess it's because, well, I was out of the hobby for a bit. You know, I kind of was still like going through the communities and everything, but I was technically like not in it. And and no one really noticed. I don't really go notice that much. But it still happened, and when I came back, it was after I had moved and all this other terrible stuff had happened. Some good stuff, a lot bad, but it was after that, and I kind of jumped back in, but not the way I wanted to. And I just feel strangely disappointed. Not in what I have received, really, but I want to feel more satisfied in this hobby. And I don't, at this current way I'm going, I am definitely not satisfied. And I think today I really got to, I really pinpointed the issues that I'm having. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that, well, I still have some doll characters I really want to buy. I want to start really focusing on the dolls I have. I'm not one of those people who has to do something with the dolls I have. Like I just don't. Like, they can sit here and just look pretty, and I'm actually okay with that. But I do have dolls that need things. Like, they need just something. Like, some are just like they need a new wig, and then there's some that like I just need to get them shoes. I want to spend 2018 focusing on making stuff for the dolls I have and their stories, and getting them the things my current dolls need, rather than necessarily focusing on getting the dolls that I still want to get, even if that means waiting until like 2019 before I get any of them. Which isn't to say like no dolls coming home next year, but I don't know. I look around, and as I was looking at my list and everything, and I was like, man, I just really, these people need some things. Like Vi, I took pictures of him the other day. I put it on my Instagram, and I just realized that like he needs new eyes, and has needed new eyes for a long damn time now. And I really want to get that for him. And then I was looking at other dolls I have, and I'm like, oh my god, Amsterdam, who's my Let's Kid Delph Masca, has needed a new wig for a while. I even bought the yarn for it, and I didn't make it. And I'm like, that's the stuff I want to start doing. I want to start like focusing on what I have and getting them together. I still have face ups to do, and the only thing stopping me from doing them is myself. Like, there was a couple, the weather can be a little iffy, but, even when it was like 100% perfect conditions, I didn't do the face ups. And I know a lot of it has to do with, I had a hard year mentally. It's been sort of bad since my cat Jolie passed away. Um, but I'm slowly getting stuff myself, I guess, back together. And that's what was happening when I jumped back into the hobby. I was getting myself back together, but instead of getting myself together and being like, ooh, let me get this doll, that doll, or whatever, I want to jump back in and be like, okay, I have this doll that needs this, this, and this. Let me get that for them. Like, even Hadley needs some things, so I'm not sure what. And that's why I also want to focus on like doll characters and stuff like that, because I was going through the list, and I have like 6 dolls that have no storyline. And as long as like my dolls have a background, I feel better about having them. Not saying like if nothing, they must go immediately, but like this year has also been about that. Like, I have sold a lot of dolls that were not inspiring me. Like, their storyline meant nothing to me. Or I tried to think of something else and I couldn't. Like, I tried and I just couldn't think of anything. And it was starting to bother me. And I don't want it to get like that again. She's not going anywhere, mind you. Like, if I never think of a story for her, then oh well. But I want to try and come up with something, a reason for her, like for her name, for how she dresses, etc. Just for, my mind, I guess. Like, I don't usually think things are a waste necessarily, but like, at the same time, when you feel overwhelmed with stuff, it's easy to quickly think, what am I thinking? It's easy to think that this thing or that thing is just wasting space. It happens a lot when I'm overwhelmed. Like, oh my goodness. Like, I have so much stuff in my closet now because I was just so overwhelmed that I was just like, this has to get on my face. So, and I don't want that. I don't want to be like that with my dolls, like, at all. Just the thought of it makes me feel sad. So, yeah, I just was reflecting on this year, and yeah, I definitely, I don't feel regrets for the dolls that I have received, that I've bought, or the one incoming, my Dolls and Jean, that was actually bought for me. I don't have these regrets, but I do have regrets that I didn't try to focus more on these guys, on the ones I already have. Especially since, like, whenever you get a new doll in, they immediately distract you from your older dolls. Whether you mean to, oh goodness, I almost sneezed. Whether you mean for that to happen or not, it usually does, because you're just like, ooh, shiny. But I don't know. I want next year to be the year of I getting my shit together in more ways than one. This is actually going to encompass a lot of things in my life. I want to get a lot of my life in order. I want to get like financial stability for once in my life, because like I haven't. The other day I realized I haven't had that since like my younger 20s. So like, I guess for 10 years I haven't had that, and it's frustrating looking back on that and going, I used to have disposable income, and I want that back. But I also want savings back. I used to have that too. I remember one time I moved and I didn't have to worry about like the down payment and the first month's rent and all that. I had that. I want that life back. So that will automatically mean less buying of dolls. But I also want to start like a savings for dolls, so that like if I start seeing like if Doll Zone just tomorrow, because they do this a lot, discontinues a set of their dolls that I really wanted, I can go ahead and get them. I want something like that. So I'm going to be working on that. And I also want to work on my writing. I want to finish a story next year. I don't care which one. It doesn't necessarily have to be my main story. It can be any of the other stories I have going on. I just want to finish something. It's like getting depressing that I haven't. And I also want to get I want to get better at photography and sewing. I gave up on sewing, and I know I did. Like, you can see even that my sewing machine is still in the box from my move. But it has been unused way before then, because I'm so intimidated. And I hate, and I've said this before, I hate not instantly being good at something. Like, or at least showing promise. And I don't show promise when it comes to sewing, but I need to actually practice it and get somewhere. You know, if I practice for several months and I'm like, this has literally not like improved at all, maybe I'll go from there. But I have never given it that long a try. Like, I'll do one project, stop completely, and then I will do another one out of nowhere and then stop completely, and it'll be months in between, and I don't want to do that. So I need to figure out a plan on how to do steady sewing. Like, if that means like a project every weekend, or like after work, like try to sew something simple at first. I want to take baby steps. Maybe that will help me. And then I also definitely want to work more on my photography. I have tried several times. Like, I have a fancy-ish camera and I don't use it anymore. The last time I used it, I think, is for sales pictures I took of my Wii U. And I'm like, no, I need to actually use it. I really do. So I want to start doing that again. And then last but not least, of course, is my dolls. So next year, definitely, I want to just get it together. Even if by the end of 2018, I'm just like 3/4 of the way together. That would be fine. That would be much better than how this year has been. I feel confident that I can achieve this. And I don't know, I just wanted to ramble about it, because I've been thinking all day about it, and how just like, while I'm no longer unsatisfied with my collection and have sold off the dolls that have not inspired me, I need to pay attention to what I have and stop focusing so much on what I could have. That makes any sense. So I'm thinking about doing the 2018 tag, but I think I might do that after I rearrange my dolls, which would be this weekend. I'm hoping to get that done. And it's not a super huge project to move dolls from shelf to shelf, but at the same time, I know I won't have time to do it until probably like Sunday. So that's probably when I will do it, and so I can show you where they live. So thank you so much if you watched this. I know it was rambly and I don't know if it was on point, but thank you anyway. I love you guys. Bye.